How's it going, everybody? It's Prod here, and today I'm bringing you guys a new video to talk to you guys about some Dark Souls 1, but before we get into it, I thought this moment was pretty funny right here. I just had to record it. I got on to play a little bit of Dark Souls 1, killing this nice ice giant here, pick up his goods, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy comes out, bam, hits me, and I thought that was really funny, and then after that point, I just kind of gave up. I actually went to taunt him. I had completely forgotten that you cannot roll out of taunt in this game, so I was pretty much screwed from the beginning. Whole mess of fails, but I thought that was pretty funny. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Dark Souls 1 being backwards compatible, coming to the Xbox One here soon, because we haven't heard much about it, honestly. We heard about it a couple months ago that it was going to be basically an incentive, a pre-order bonus. If you pre-order Dark Souls 3, you get Dark Souls 1 on the Xbox One, not for the PS4, because obviously the PS4 does not have backwards compatibility. You can play some PS3 games, and I'm pretty sure a few PS2 games on the PlayStation 4, but it's pretty much just through their PlayStation Now service, which they have a bunch of games there. Sadly, no Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls, which I was really bummed about, because I really want to play Demon Souls, but, you know, we haven't heard much about it. All we have is that it is going to apparently come out in March, so here this month, we're going to end up seeing that, which I'm guessing we're going to see it sometime at the end of March, because the Japanese version of Dark Souls 3 comes out March 24th, so we're less than 2 weeks away. So I'm guessing either a little bit after that or very, very early April, we're going to end up seeing Dark Souls 1 on the Xbox One. And here, I was fighting Seath, and these goddamn clams, they snuck into the boss battle, which is really annoying. So he took care of most of them, but they were chasing me around throughout the entire boss battle. I didn't even notice that they got in until they started attacking me, which is, again, another funny fail. But with the release of Dark Souls 1 on the Xbox One and being backwards compatible and stuff, I'm guessing we're going to end up seeing a nice bit of jump in the population of that game, because it definitely has dwindled down. I don't play much Dark Souls 1 anymore, because it's one of those things where if I'm on the 360, I'm probably playing Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 1 is fun and everything. I love the PvE. It's obviously my favorite Dark Souls game, but when it comes to the PvP, there's people on Dark Souls 1 who are just so far ahead and so good at this game already that there's just no point in even trying to fight them. You know, I never did PvP on Dark Souls 1, because by the time that I started playing Dark Souls 1, there wasn't really many people on it, and all the people that were left are either hackers or, like I said, people who are really goddamn good. It's not even worth fighting. But definitely, I might give it a try if we see it here. But I definitely think that it seems like giving away Dark Souls 1 and making it backwards compatible is like kind of like saying, oh, sorry that we have to release it a couple weeks early in Japan than we do in the US, but here you have Dark Souls 1 to entertain you. You know, either go ahead and play PvE, which is still goddamn fun, man. I still have a lot of fun playing this game, or you can just go ahead and get destroyed by a bunch of people who are insanely good at PvP. But, you know, I think it's a good thing. There's some people who haven't played Dark Souls 1. There's people who are like, you know, I haven't played it in a Souls game. I'm looking to get into Dark Souls 3, which I'm going to make a video on soon. I definitely want to make a video talking about should you get into Dark Souls, you know, because I feel like it's kind of one of those game series that's kind of hard to jump into if you haven't, you know, already started. But I'm definitely going to do that soon. But moving on to Dark Souls 3, I want to talk a little bit about Dark Souls 3. Basically, what are my plans once Dark Souls 3 comes out? Because I made a video a few days ago talking about getting Dark Souls 3 early, basically the Japanese version of Dark Souls 3 on the Xbox One. I'll link that in the description. It's a good video if it actually does end up working out. That's why it's, you know, it's called How to Possibly Get Dark Souls 3 Early. You guys can go watch that if you want. But if that turns out to be good, we only have a couple of weeks till Dark Souls 3 comes out. I only have a couple of weeks and I'll be able to play Dark Souls 3. But once that game comes out, I wanted to do a playthrough on it. I wanted to do my first ever full playthrough on a game, and I wanted to beat it on Dark Souls 1. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that on the Japanese version of Dark Souls 3, unless you guys want me to, because it's one of those things where it'll probably be a lot of people trying to avoid spoilers, so people are just not even going to want to watch the videos, because, you know, it's basically early footage, and then all the text and stuff, which is some of the best parts, you know, all the names of the weapons and all the info on the weapons and stuff is going to be in Japanese text. You're not even going to be able to read it. So I'm definitely think that I'm just going to leave the playthrough off until the actual English version comes out here on April 12th, and then once that comes out, I'll be able to start this playthrough. It's going to be so much goddamn fun. I honestly can't wait, man. But, you know, that Japanese version, if it actually does work, it's going to mainly be me playing, having fun, going through maybe my first playthrough. I don't know if I'll be able to pass it in 3 weeks, I think it is, that it comes out before. But, you know, if we do, I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun. gonna try to invade some Japanese people, and it's gonna be a lot of really bad connection matches. So I definitely think I'm gonna be uploading videos, but I don't think I'm gonna start my playthrough officially until the actual English version comes out for me. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Definitely let me know if you guys are gonna actually be playing Dark Souls 1 once we see it and becomes backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Maybe even try to do some PvP stuff. I really want to do some PvP stuff here soon for Dark Souls 2, kind of preparing for Dark Souls 3, which I'm probably going to be doing soon. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, everybody.